Morning students. So welcome back all of you in class 8th science, and as you know that in our previous video we have started chapter 4, that is materials, metals and non-metals. And students, in our previous session we have discussed about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. So we can say that let's revise the physical properties that we have discussed in our previous session. So students, now we know that metals are lustrous, metals are malleable, metals are ductile, and metals are the good conductor of electricity that we have discussed. So today we'll discuss the another physical property of metals, that metals are sonorous. Sonorous means as we have discussed earlier, that we can found or a different sound when we are going to beating a metal. So this sound is because of the another physical property of the metals, that is sonorous. So we can say that the things made of metals produce a ringing sound when struck hard. Suppose you have two boxes similar in appearance, one made of wood and the other of metal. Can you tell which box is made of metal by striking both the boxes? Yes. Since metal produce ringing sound, they are said to be sonorous. The material other than metals are not sonorous. So we can say that when we push a wind chime, it produces a sound. When the metal pipe in a wind chime strike each other, they produce a ringing sound. So the property of producing a ringing sound by metal when it strike with a hard material is called sonority. Thus the metals are sonorous. So we can say that metals are the sonorous. So metals are used for making bells, and metal wires we can say or strings are used in a musical instruments also. But non-metals do not make a ringing sound when we strike them. So we can say that non-metals are non-sonorous. So this is the another property of metals, that is sonority. So we can say that metals are sonorous. So after performing the above activities, we can say that some materials are hard, lustrous, malleable, ductile, sonorous and good conductor of heat and electricity. The material which generally possess these properties are called metals. The examples of metals are iron, copper, aluminium, calcium, magnesium, etc. In contrast, materials like coal and sulfur are soft and dull in appearance. They break down into powdery mass on tapping with a hammer. So they are not sonorous and are poor conductors of heat and electricity. These materials are called non-metals. For example, sulfur, carbon, oxygen, phosphorus are the example of non-metals. So students, this is all about the physical property of metals and non-metals. So we can say that metals are hard, lustrous, malleable, ductile, sonorous and good conductor of heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are soft and dull in appearance and brittle and poor conductor of heat and electricity. But metals like sodium and potassium are soft and can be cut with a knife, and mercury is the only metal which is found in liquid state at room temperature. These are exceptions. So we can say that generally metals are hard, but metals like sodium and potassium are soft and can be cut with a knife. And metals are generally, we know that they are present in a solid form in the nature, but mercury is only metal which is found in liquid state at room temperature. So these are the exceptions. So students, now we will discuss the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Generally, all the metals show similar chemical properties, but their reactivities depend upon their nature and reaction conditions. Metals are different from non-metals depending upon their chemical reactivities. So first we will discuss the reaction with the oxygen. Metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide, which are basic in nature. So students, most of the metals form basic oxide. So now we'll discuss the reaction with the oxygen. You are familiar with the phenomenon of rusting of iron. Recall the reaction by which rust is formed. You had also performed in class 7th an activity of burning a magnesium ribbon in air. You had learned that in both the processes oxide formation take place. Complete the following reactions of iron and magnesium with oxygen. So students, according to this equation, you can say that iron react with oxygen and form iron oxide, and magnesium is also reacting with the oxygen as you have performed the activity, the burning of magnesium ribbon, then magnesium oxide is formed. So we can say that metals react with oxygen and form metal oxide that are basic in nature. So one activity is given. Let us check the nature of rust formed as a result of the reaction between iron, oxygen and water. So what we have to do for this? We have to collect a spoonful of rust and dissolve it in a very little amount of water. You will find that the rust remains suspended in the water. Shake the suspension well. Test the solution with red and blue litmus paper. What do you observe in the solution? Is the solution acidic or basic? So you will observe that this solution is basic in nature because it turned the red litmus into blue litmus. So we can say that when magnesium reacted with oxygen, it turned, we can say it formed magnesium oxide, and when it reacted with water, then the nature of the solution is basic. Does copper also get rusted? I have seen a greenish deposit on the surface of copper vessel. Yes, copper is also one kind of metal. So when a copper vessel is exposed to moist air for long, it acquires a dull green coating. The green material is a mixture of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate, that is CuCO3. So the following reaction, 2Cu plus H2O plus CO2 plus O2, that means moist air, reacting with the copper, and copper hydroxide and copper carbonate is formed here. Now recall the activity of burning magnesium. The ash obtained on burning magnesium ribbon is dissolved in water and tested for its acidic and basic nature. Is the solution acidic or basic? How do you ascertain this? You must have observed that red litmus turned blue. So oxide of magnesium is also basic in nature. In general, metallic oxide are basic in nature. So by performing this activity, we can say that the magnesium oxide, or we can say magnesium oxide dissolve in water partially and form magnesium hydroxide solution, and this magnesium hydroxide solution turned red litmus solution into blue. So it is showing that it is a base. So we can say that magnesium oxide in basic in nature. So we can say that metals react with oxygen to form basic oxide. And similarly we can perform this activity with the another metal, that is sodium or zinc. So similarly sodium metal react with oxygen at the room temperature and form the basic oxide, that is called sodium oxide. That's why sodium metal is stored in a kerosene because it can catch fire on reacting with air, and zinc metal burn in air only on a strong heating and form the basic oxide called zinc oxide. But metals like we can say gold are highly unreactive, so they do not react with air, water vapor and any other gas in the atmosphere. For this reason, gold ornaments look new even after several years of use. But most of the non-metals react with oxygen to form acidic oxide, and some other form neutral oxide also. So you must have observed that red litmus turn to blue. So oxide of magnesium is also basic in nature, and in general metallic oxide are basic in nature. Let us now observe the reaction of non-metals with oxygen. Take a small amount of powdered sulfur in deflagrating spoon and heat it. So now we are going to testing the reaction between non-metals and oxygen. So what we have to do, we have to take sulfur powder and a deflagrating spoon, and we have to provide heat it by the burner also. So if a deflagrating spoon is not available, you may take a metallic cap of any bottle and wrap a metallic wire around it and give it the shape shown in figure 4.4. As you can see in the figure 4.4, the deflagrating spoon is given and it is having a long handle. As soon as sulfur starts burning, introduce the spoon into gas jar or glass tumbler. As you can see in the 4.4, gas jar is there. Cover the tumbler with a lid to ensure that the gas produced does not escape. Remove the spoon after some time. Add small quantity of water into the tumbler and quickly replace the lid. Shake the tumbler well and check the solution with a red and blue litmus paper. So students, what we have to do in this activity, we have to take small amount of sulfur powder in a deflagrating spoon and heat it over a flame. As soon as sulfur starts burning with a blue flame, introduce the deflagrating spoon in a gas jar. Then sulfur burns in the air of gas jar to form a smelling gas, that is sulfur dioxide. Keep the gas jar covered with a lid to ensure that the gas produced does not escape. Now remove the deflagrating spoon from the gas jar after some time and add a small quantity of water into the gas jar and quickly close the lid. Shake the gas jar to dissolve sulfur dioxide gas. Now pour the water and having a sulfur dioxide gas dissolved in it and in a petri dish. Check the above solution with the red and blue litmus paper. So what you will observe, when sulfur, that is a non-metal, burns in air, it combined with oxygen of air to form sulfur dioxide, that is S. S is the symbol of sulfur plus O2, that is a symbol of oxygen, and it is forming sulfur dioxide, that means acidic oxide. Sulfur dioxide dissolve in water to form sulfurous acid solution. That means we can say that SO2, that is sulfur dioxide, H2O, that is water, and it is forming sulfurous acid, that is H2SO3. And this sulfurous acid turns blue litmus red, that is showing that it is an acid and sulfur dioxide is acidic in nature. So the sulfurous acid turned blue litmus paper into red. So generally oxide of non-metals are acidic in nature. So we can say that after performing this activity, we can get the conclusion that non-metals react with oxygen to form acidic oxide. Recall the name of some of the laboratory acid and base you have read in class 7. Note down their names in table 4.4. Identify the metal or non-metal present in them and which form oxide and oxygen. So students, we can say that non-metals reacting with the oxygen and forming their oxide, but they are acidic in nature. Similarly, we can take another example, carbon. When carbon, that is a non-metal, burn in air, it react with oxygen of air and form acidic oxide, that is called carbon dioxide. And we can see this acidic oxide, carbon dioxide, dissolve in water to form an acid, that is called carbonic acid. As we have discussed with the SO2, SO2 is dissolving in the water, then it is formed sulfurous acid. Same way, the carbon dioxide dissolve in water and form acid, that is carbonic acid, H2CO3. This carbonic acid turned blue litmus solution red, that is showing it is an acid, and carbon dioxide is an acidic oxide. And we can take another example also, nitrogen. So we can see that some of the non-metals react with oxygen to form neutral oxide. So nitrogen react with oxygen and form nitrous oxide, that is neutral. So this is all about the metals and non-metals and how they are reacting with the oxygen. So students, in this video we'll do this much. So thank you everyone and have a nice day.